A few days ago, I was wandering through my many emails that I get each day when I came across an email sent to me from Evangelisation Brisbane, and I was fascinated with it. It was called The Season of Creation, and its focus was a call to care for this world in which we live. Listen, it was saying to me, and perhaps to all within our church today. Listen to the voice of creation, it said. The proposal presented in the document that accompanied this call to listen focused upon the encyclical from Pope Francis called Laudato Si. And it was through this letter to the church in the world from Pope Francis that he was calling everyone, Catholic and non-Catholic, Christian and non-Christian, in fact, the whole world, to be aware of the importance of this mission of caring for the world that all of us share. That's where this email from EB had begun. Contained within it was a video from Archbishop Mark, highlighting the need for all of us to do what we can for this world that we share. And I'm hoping that the video may be available through the days that are ahead. But this season of creation, as the document had called it, began last Thursday on the 1st of September, the first day of spring. And it will continue until about the 4th of October, the Feast of St. Francis, who is the patron of all things created. So we as a church have begun this important journey. As people who share our world, it's important for all of us somehow to set out to care for the world in which we live. Contained within the documents that were sent to me, there are a number of suggestions that may be an opportunity for us to focus upon this call for caring for the world in which we live. As a parish, and as an archdiocese, and perhaps even as a civic region, there are many things that can be done to bring other people's awareness to the importance of this mission of care for the world that we share. I'm sure that there will be much shared across these many areas of life, calling us to do what we can to care for our world. But then there may be many areas of our own personal lives where we can focus upon how we care for the world and for this environment in which we live. There may be very simple ways for us to do what we can to be environmentally friendly to our earth. Time and again we hear about the amount of plastics that seem to end up in our waterways and eventually into the mouths of our sea turtles. I wonder if our actions contribute to such unfortunate events. It's time, we have been told, now to listen. Listen to the voice of creation. Our world may be crying out to all of us to endeavour to care for this treasure that God has given to us so freely. We know from that creation story that all that we see before us is complete gift from our Creator God. God who has called us then to be stewards of this created world. The world in which we live is there for all of us to use and to endeavour to ensure that it is there for the generations who will follow us. That is our role in this beautiful and fragile world. We are its carers for today and for the future. So contained within this Voice of Creation document provided to us from EB, there's a checklist for us perhaps to reflect upon just how we are responding to the needs of the world that we share, especially as a faith community. We have a mission. And not only that, but we also have a commission. And both come from God to all of us. And it comes through the life and the ministry of Jesus himself. It's our mission, first of all, to listen. Listen to the voice of creation. Listen to our world, calling us to care for the world in which we live. We have a mission to do all that we can to nurture our earth. It's our responsibility to ensure that this fragile world, given to us as stewards and as carers, and given also so freely to the flora and fauna that share our world, that it can be sustained because of what we choose to do as its stewards for today and for the many tomorrows that are ahead. And we have a commission. We have a call from God and from all that shares this world with us to do all that we can to be the best stewards of the world that we can be, so that it will be here for all of those tomorrows that are ahead. So it may be time for us to stop and to think about how we live our lives, to think about how we use the resources that are so readily available to us, and how we can so often waste our world by the actions of our lives. So listen. Listen to the voice of creation. Listen to the world crying out for healing. And listen to that God, that call of our God, call in our lives to be stewards of this creation that God has given to us. Listen, because it all begins with you and me.